Hello, everybody. I'm Vlad Ellis. Here is Denis Mollov. I'm the head of software team with the Speedflow, and as you know, I'm running the whole Speedflow. We've received a lot of questions what it means to be carrier neutral, and we will try together, me and Denis, to reply to cover this issue, to reply to these questions, and to make several statements about what we do, why we do, what's the reason behind it, and why we love doing it. So, Denis, let's start this. What's the difference between the carrier and carrier neutral as a software team?
Of course. So it's not very complicated because the VoIP itself, it's not a complicated job to be done. So you're selling routes and traffic high and trying to squeeze all the margins from your customers, partners, doesn't matter. What we tried and what we did in MediaCore as a department, we decided to step back from that and to put only to change the game and to put only the solution in the middle. So we are not in the game. There is no conflict of interest between our customers, our partners, because I like being very clear with my partners, and there will be no anymore just routes, traffic, and etc. We are putting MediaCore as a solution, and this is going to be the only way that we will be working in a direction where we've been able to secure all our customers, and there will be no any more conflict of interest.
Even potential conflict of interest.
Of course. This is very, very important to be mentioned, and this is the essential part of the new strategy, and to say the new roadmap of the MediaCore SMS.
Why we choose to do that? You know, it's a very good question.
Indeed.
We can talk about this for a long time.
Indeed, yeah. So we are cutting ties. We are cutting ties with the traders.
With the Speedflow traders.
Yeah, and we are putting our chest ahead of all the partners of MediaCore. So it's important. Why? Firstly, because in the recent days, years, there were lots of conflict of interest. Since Speedflow, it's a solid company, indeed solid company, and it's a Speedflow telecommunication, as you're the one who is leading the project of telecommunication. We decided not being there because Speedflow Solution, it's a separate company. And we are about to prove that by cutting ties with everything as a traffic, as routes, as everything that it's being so far. From now on, there will be only solution, training, management, control management, service management, support management, technical support management. So it's a SaaS. It's a solution that is going to be built from A to Z. And we see, as soon as we made our roadmap, that there is no room for telecommunications. And we sit. It was a tough negotiation because it was just to throw in the trash one whole business of SMS, because we're going to open the road and we're going to open everything for a MediaCore SMS. And we see this as a very, let's say, project with a big capacity, and we see that we're going to be able to push this at least for the next 10 years ahead, and we're going to see what is going to be happening after that.
I can add more to this. You know, when we decided that we're not going to be in the SMS business as a telecom, we put our efforts to create the Nexa SMS. That was the original. Then we decided that the Nexa SMS will be converted to Nexa Messaging, which is Nexa MSG. And because it needs to be like a multi-channel messaging platform oriented towards the retail customers.
Yeah, the end users. Actually, honestly, openly speaking with you, we sat and we decided to make this because as soon as we closed the edges of the telecommunications, we saw a lot of gaps that we would like to fill up with knowledge, with the business, and of course with the margins, because we are talking about business. So we decided to close the cycle, and with you, we decided to make not only the wholesale business beneficial, but also the end user business. Right now, the SMS, it's really thriving. We saw that in the next couple of years that um, customers and users are going in the one direction. There was a stagnation around the COVID, but right now we saw a lot of potential for Alexa messaging. And this is the other way that I can mention that it's not a separate platform, it's an add-on to MediaCore, which means that we are not, let's say, only trying to squeeze everything from the partners. We are building something ready-made, and we're gonna give them to them. So to be able to work with the MediaCore and Nexa messaging, just all together, just to be able to bring their margins with a higher percentage, and we will be the one that it's gonna be cheering up that and trying to push the process ahead.
Yes, and the other thing is we're not focusing only on messaging. Now it's the Viber messaging there, Telegram. We're working on the WhatsApp business messaging. So all important media platforms which are beneficial for the marketing teams, they will be in this next MSG. What's the result from the customers?
So the results, it's the Nexa messaging. First of all, it's a very flexible system. We have a big partners that I'm not allowed to mention right now in the podcast, but there are big names, huge names working with the Nexa messaging, and they see the opportunity to close the gaps between them and their end users. They are bringing everything that is possible, and they are able to distribute all the traffic to their end users. Right now, we are monitoring that it's a very successful and very proficient and beneficial strategy. But the thinking, the focus right now, it's on the MediaCore SMS. Why? Because we tolerate Nexa messaging as a platform, as a next step, as add-on to MediaCore SMS. But we are trying to focus on both and distribute equally to all the customers that you mentioned and the application that also you mentioned. So this is something that is gonna be staying and holding inside of the MediaCore SMS. So this is very important for us.
So as I see, the messaging platforms are basically, you feel them like your own. You're very much supporting them. Your heart is there. I've seen your communication with developers. You motivate them. When we decided that we will be carrier neutral, don't you feel that now it's easier for us to create this tool than before?
Actually, the honest answer to that, it's we as a Speedflow company work more on the feedback of the customers. We are visiting a lot of conferences. We have a constant communication with all the partners. And we are trying to find out which are the leakage, the so-called leakage. So all the updates, all the feedbacks, it's a case study for us to bring all the empirical data on us and being able to bring the stage of MediaCore Next to the next level. So we hear all the customers they had, and they had the needs of having this on board. So what we did, we set and we decided to make everything possible for them. Because gradually and racially, we are not a company that is building horizontally. We are vertically. We are a horizontal company. We are working on the feedback of the customers, and we are working in a very demand on the internal ties between customers, developers, support, and etc. So this was the main demand from the customers, and it was the main for us to make it possible. So for me, Nexa, it's a kind of child that it was raised not only by us, but from our customers and partners as well. Because nowadays business it's not run only one direction. As it said, the love is two-sided affection. So you have to be understood, provided, and given on the next stage. So for me, the next stage it's a Nexa. That's why it's an add-on, and that's why it's not a system, because it's a made for the caring of the customers and not only caring for our pockets, because this is how it has to work, and this is how all the businesses that it's thriving, it's running nowadays.
Okay, thanks.
Thank
And
you as well.
again, carrier neutral, providing you with MediaCore messaging and Nexa MSG.
Indeed, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you.
Thank you
And
very
yeah,
much. Thank you for the questions. Yeah.